News as well. DeMarcus Cousins, as Nabil just said, has a torn ACL. Again, DeMarcus Cousins with a torn ACL. That's what his agent told Adrian Wojnarowski. This happened while working out in Las Vegas on Monday. Apparently, he bumped knees with another player. The four-time All-Star apparently met with Laker doctors in L.A. today to undergo testing, and now the result, as many feared, could be a torn ACL. Injury woes dogging him throughout his 9 NBA seasons. The problems began when Cousins ruptured his Achilles in January of 2018 with the Pelicans. That injury derailed the season in which he was averaging 25 and 12, sidelined them for almost a year. Following the injury, Boogie signs with Golden State, appears in 30 regular season games before tearing his left quad against the Clippers in the first round of the playoffs. He returned for the finals, playing in all 6 games and averaging 8 points, but obviously his comeback once again derailed. Let's welcome in ESPN senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. He broke the story. Woj, he was on the comeback trail. He wanted to get into all-star form, and now this. What more can you tell us?
Ryan, for DeMarcus Cousins, another devastating leg injury. 3 now in about a year and a half, and there's not yet a timeline on his surgery. They're going to talk now about when they'll do that. You know, typically the recovery 6 to 9 months on an ACL, but with the history of leg injuries with Cousins and what he's been through here the last several months, it's unclear whether he'll play for the Lakers this year. But at the same time, I don't know that LA was counting on an all-star return of DeMarcus Cousins. Listen, they paid him $3.5 million. That's what the market was for him. And I think he was seen as a role player at this point. But for Cousins, at 29 years old, 4 times an all-star, just another devastating turn for him.
So you mentioned they thought of him as a role player, but the Lakers have high hopes. He was, for some, projected to be a starter for them this season. So even though he would have just filled that possible role player position, where does the team go from here?
Well, you may see more Anthony Davis at the center position, which is something traditionally he hasn't loved. He liked having Cousins with him in New Orleans when he was able to move over to that power forward. You'll see JaVale McGee play more of those center minutes, and you may see a lineup with, Kyle Kuzma as the 4-man, Anthony Davis as the 5. But no question for the Lakers, they are a team, that has championship aspirations, and they hoped, that DeMarcus Cousins on a 1-year deal at $3.5 million, could be a player who'd help them get there. But certainly their depth takes a hit now, and DeMarcus Cousins' future is uncertain with this injury. An Achilles injury, a torn quad, and now a torn ACL in his left knee.
A tough situation for DeMarcus Cousins. We certainly wish him well. Adrian, thank you very much. Adrian with the latest on Boogie Cousins. Now, if Boogie's injury turns out, as Adrian just reported, it's that torn ACL. Here's the thing. It wouldn't sway the odds. According to Caesars Sportsbook, the Lakers would remain the favorite to win the title, 3-1 odds ahead of the Clippers, the Bucks, the 76ers, and the Warriors.
It's no joke when you get injured. This is our livelihood and, something that we love to do. It's super unfortunate for a guy like DeMarcus because just tell how much he loves basketball. Through all his injuries, just kind of fought back and tried to get back as early as possible. And, that's kind of how the ball goes sometimes. You just never really know. And, so you just got to count your blessings and, take it at that and be grateful.
Such a frustrating situation. It's another injury to derail what is such a promising career, has been such a good career so far, if not great. One of 16 players in league history with career averages of 20 points and 10 rebounds per game. The other 15, they're all in the Hall of Fame.
When you got word about the severity of his injury, what came to mind?
Really just sadness. Obviously, one of my goals coming into this season was for DeMarcus to destroy everybody, and come back and, show how great of a player he is, and get what I think, he deserves. And obviously to have this injury, I'm really at a loss for words about it. It's one that really hurt me for sure.
When have you spoken to him?
I have not. It's one of those situations where I don't even want to call. Like I send him a text and, like what do you say at this point? Like, do you send encouragement? Do you stinks. Nobody wants to hear that at this point. And so I don't know. Like I said, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say.
Being, I think, the biggest proponent on the Warriors to making sure he felt at home when he got there, you were really close to all his rehab, everything he was doing. With that in mind, what is this next chapter for him after you already seen so much pain?
I mean, it's tough, you know, because you go through that process with the Achilles and you get back, and then obviously you go through the quad injury rehab, and you get back, and looking forward to a healthy summer. And I saw DeMarcus last week, looking very slim in shape. I said, "Wow, you like Kentucky Boogie," and you know, just to see the work that he's been putting in, and obviously to have this injury, like what's next? You go through that same process again. Eventually, it becomes tedious. Obviously, wishing him all the best, and you know, offer all the support that I can.